Hey guys, welcome back. DeFi, degens, drip, and farm for poverty. I'm your host, Drip Coach, dropping knowledge bombs on all Forex Shark related projects. And in today's video, I'm going to be tying together quite a few things that are shaping up right now that by themselves would not be so bad, but mixed together, who knows what it actually means for the future of sovereignty as an individual and your free speech, so to speak. So if you've been living under a rock, then you may not be aware about the whole thing that happened with Andrew Tate. Go back and check some of the other videos, do a Google search if you don't know who he is. But as of recently, he was banned from multiple platforms. And then Patrick Bet David did a long form 5-hour interview with him. And in the beginning, I want to play a clip from you because he talks about what happened and how quickly it came to be. And I'm going to tie this together with what this means in regards to kind of the financial future and why all of us in Drip can benefit, and how this is what Forex is building is actually to stop some of this stuff in regards to the global narrative and what's being pushed. So this first clip is Patrick. He first went through a list of people who have been banned from social media and the reasons that they have been banned previously. And he talked about like former President Donald Trump for inciting a riot or whatever that was, and some people with making jokes about ISIS. So he went through a couple of people, and there were quote unquote legitimate reasons. And then he gets to Andrew Tate, and he's asking him in this clip, "Why were you banned?" So let's play that.
For making a joke about ISIS. Okay. So why did Andrew Tate get banned?
They did not tell me. They did not send me an email, no correspondence. I certainly didn't break terms of service. I guess that's why they couldn't send me an email and explain why. Nobody told me, whether it was YouTube that banned me or Meta that banned me. They banned me instantly and forever without any kind of correspondence. They've not told me why. They've not told anyone what I did. The media machine, in synchronization with the ban, we can call that coincidence if you want to believe in such things, came out with some kind of bullshit explanation that I'm misogynistic or some garbage. But the actual social media companies themselves provided no explanation at all, no correspondence at all. They just deleted me. That was it.
So that was him initially getting the ban, and he hasn't clarified or doesn't know at this point why or what happened. We're going to go to the next clip where you find out how far-reaching the powers that be, actually can go with this information, and what ban actually means. So remember, whether or not you like Andrew Tate or whether or not you know anything about him, the point is this was just a person speaking his mind, which according to what we have in the US, freedom of speech, you should be allowed to do. And somewhere along the line, the powers that be decided that they did not want to hear it. And very quickly, he was banned from multiple platforms. But let him tell you exactly how far reaching that was.
They intend to.
Who was the first one to take you off?
Meta.
Meta was first. So
Meta.
Facebook, Instagram.
Facebook, Insta, bam.
Okay. And then it was a domino effect.
Yeah. So Meta took me down. So it's quite interesting, actually. I had a YouTube channel for a while. It was never so large. I had 738,000 subscribers. It took me a long time to build it up. I got a strike on YouTube, which prevented me from posting. It's got a strike. No big deal. The next day, Meta took me down, deleted my Facebook and my Instagram. The press came out at exactly the same time in sync, saying that I'm a misogynistic, dangerous person, that I'm harmful, that I am the reason that the world is not a perfect place, world hunger, you name it, all my fault. Attacked me across all of this. And I thought, okay, let me film a message that I can get out on my YouTube, my final message, which I don't know if you guys have seen. I ended up putting on freetopg.com. Let me film my final message explaining how this is unfair and unjust. We filmed it, we produced it, we got it all edited within 12 hours, head to toe ready to go, but we couldn't post it because of the YouTube strike. So we're waiting for the YouTube strike to expire. A few hours before the YouTube strike expires, guess what happens? They banned me from YouTube. Then they banned me from Discord. Then they banned me from Airbnb. They banned me from Stripe. I can't even remember.
Airbnb?
It was just emails coming in faster than you could believe. Banned.
So it wasn't just the socials.
Oh, no. The Matrix presses a button, my friend. Yeah. And every app on your phone stops working. Uber. You name it. Uber.
Stop.
You name it.
Wait, you can't use Uber?
Well, I can use Uber. You just start a new account, right? But
yeah.
Oh, sorry, Uber. Catch me. But
your main account on Uber was taken.
They take everything from you.
Everything. Coordinated effort all at once.
Coordinated effort all at once. Every single one of them just goes no. Delete, 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 and they come at you and they come at you with everything.
And Stripe,
banks,
payment processing,
and banks, UK-based banks as well. High Street banks. But I can name Santander, HSBC, Barclays, etc. all at the same time.
Banks.
Oh no, sorry, to change. We've decided because blah blah, some bullshit, some letter, close your accounts. So they take all your banking, they take your payment processing, they take all your social media presence, they take your Discord, they take your Skype, they take all your accounts, your ability to communicate with people, and then they lie about you in the press.
Just a quick message. Please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. That does help the channel as well as help bring brand awareness to all Forex Shark related projects. Thanks. I don't know if you realize how huge that is. So luckily someone of Tate's caliber has a way to, kind of respond, retaliate, survive, or whatever the case may be. And obviously that's why they went after him. But just think about that. Like, you're banned from literally everything. So they try to essentially silence you so that you don't have a voice and that no one else can, so you can't like defend yourself and put up the other side of the statement or the argument. So it started with Meta, and then it goes to YouTube. And then once you have those two and whatever this coordinated attack he's talking about, like you said, call it coincidence or not, but even your payment processor. So if you're not familiar, Stripe is one of the world's largest online payment processing platforms. They're used all over the world. So if you have a website and you want to get paid into your bank account, you can use Stripe, and Stripe will help set that up. And basically they will be the front end, and credit cards and all that can go through it. Well, they blocked his account. This guy owns online platforms and services for selling products. And that means there's no way to get those products and services. You can't get paid. They blocked that. They blocked him on Uber and Airbnb. These have absolutely nothing to do with Facebook and Meta. I'm sorry, Facebook and YouTube. But somehow it's all coordinated together. So that is crazy. And he mentions The Matrix. So if you guys, again, if you've been living on the rock, you've never seen the movie The Matrix, but definitely there is, I've talked about this in some of my other videos about the water and living in this world kind of subconsciously, not knowing what's going on and being oblivious to the things that are happening around you. And this just goes to show that behind the scenes, there's a lot of people pulling the strings. And the reason I wanted to bring this up is because of the payment part and what can be done about that. So the fact that these social media platforms essentially are pulling the strings for money at the end. Remember, the exact same thing happened to Canadian protesters that didn't want to get the vaccine. They blocked their accounts and banned their accounts and red flagged them and stuff like that, so they couldn't get money in. So, and they were using social media and stuff like that to get messages across. So luckily, Tate's moved over to Rumble and can still get this out. But the whole point I'm getting at is that this all comes down to money. And money is a form of control. So if they can control your money, then they can control you. And especially if we're operating still in a fiat currency that is controlled and owned by a government, then they have the ultimate say-so on how much money they give you, what that money is worth, how much more money they print, everything, right? And that brings me to this next piece about literally about the CBDCs. So again, if you're not familiar or living under a rock, central bank digital currencies. Multiple banks across the world are working towards creating their own digital currency. They don't want the blockchain. They don't want Bitcoin. They don't want decentralization. They want central bank digital currencies. They want to control it. And with these, you need to read up on this, but there's all sorts of things they can program into a central bank digital currency. It's essentially just like what we see with Drip, Dog Token, and all that. So they can program in taxes. They can program in expiration dates. They can program in if you're getting money for stipends for, say, food stamps. They can program in and make sure it's only able to be used for certain foods at certain stores. Like, they will have complete control because it's all digital, and they will own the blockchain because it will be their currency. So, and it's coming. It's not just the United States that's creating one. I think China has one. They're working on one in the UK. There are multiple places that are pushing towards it. And they claim that the reason for it, financial institutions that deal in stablecoins are subject to anti-money laundering and counter-financing terrorism obligations. However, if a stablecoin was widely adopted globally as a means of payment, the stablecoin could pose greater risk for illicit finance due to uneven implementation of the global AML CFT standards for digital assets. They're trying to say that if something like, say, BUSD, which we use, is adopted, then, oh no, it could be used for illicit finance reasons and anti-money laundering and all this other stuff like that. That's BS. They really just want the control. And again, the reason I bring all this up and tie it together was to show you what happened to Andrew Tate, what's going on behind the scenes with central bank digital currencies, and what the big push is for these institutions, and what that means for us. So the fact that Forex is super huge on decentralization and on security and in making a platform that cannot be taken down and making it kind of sticking it to the man, so to speak, or allowing people to unplug from the matrix. This is very, very important because on these platforms he's creating, you are getting the opportunity to create financial stability and freedom away from these central banks. And yeah, for right now, you still have to use fiat and transact in fiat, but more and more countries are opening up and allowing for the use of other cryptocurrencies that you can transact and use in. So take these opportunities that Forex is creating and understand what's going on behind the scenes to your money supply and what the governments are doing and all that stuff like that. Basically listen again to stuff like what Top G is saying and unplug from the Matrix. The Matrix has you. If you've never seen the movie, you need to watch it because it is 100% a real live thing going on right now. If you listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson and Elon Musk, they said that there's a growing probability that we are living inside of a simulation. So whether or not you believe in that tinfoil hat kind of stuff, it doesn't matter. The point is your reality is indeed altered in real time by companies that control the narrative that you get to see. You can go to Google and just use a VPN and Google for a search term. And depending on what country you're Googling from, based on your IP address, you'll get different results. They are literally feeding you information based on where you're at, what's around you, what they want you to have, what they want you to believe, all this kind of stuff. And I'm not saying it's good, bad, or indifferent. I just want you to be aware of it. You need to be aware that there is a matrix out there and that if you play it right, much like in the movie, you can understand the rules of this game and use it to your advantage and create financial freedom and digital sovereignty or ownership away from a lot of these other things that may or may not be happening. Look at China and look at their, it's not loyalty, what do they call that thing? It's like the citizenship, how they rate their citizens. Like, you know, if you're recycling or if you're cleaning up or using disposable garbage bags, like they track all this stuff. It's crazy. And that's not, I'm not gonna say it's gonna happen to the US, but the point is this blockchain technology and these governments and all that stuff like that are not happy with things like Bitcoin or decentralized finance and stuff like that. So you need to be aware of what's going on and take advantage of it, like I said, and hopefully, you know, create some way to stabilize yourself in the future. I don't know when these CBDCs will be coming in, but rest assured, these central banks will not go without a fight. You see BlackRock is getting in to get their share of Bitcoin, and that can be good or bad. We have no idea, but that is another powerful giant or titan in the industry. So anyway, I'm going off on a segue. The main point of this video was wake up, unplug from the matrix, learn about what's happening, take control of your own financial freedom and digital sovereignty, and as well as your physical sovereignty, what you own, and find locations and stuff like that if you need to, that you may want to look at living and moving away and moving into. Who knows what's going to happen? But being aware that these other options exist is the first step. I'm not saying everyone has to just jump up and run away from wherever they live, but you need to be aware of what's happening and what's going on behind the scenes so that you're not just hit by surprise, so to speak. All right, that is it for this video. Actually, since this is the first video of our next up and coming scavenger hunt, if you have followed this far, you're in for a treat. So this is going to be word number 1 for this next 2 weeks. So it'll be another 10 drip airdrop. So word number 1 in this video is the one and only Matrix. So if you haven't watched the movie, watch the movie. The word you need, first word, starting on the 18th, is Matrix. All right, guys, until next time, lift daily and achieve your impossible. Yeah.